Tim Panasic for Gibbons Motor Toys. Today we have the KingFisher 2725 offshore boat to show you. So I just want you to know this is a sold boat and we're in the middle of rigging it. So there are some things that aren't quite completed here, but we're going to be able to show you this boat, I think, quite well regardless of that. So you're looking at the exterior of it here. The 2725 is a 27-foot boat. If you look at if you measure it from the tip of the bow, not the anchor pulpit, but from the tip of the bow to the back of the engine bracket, it actually kisses 28 feet, including the engine bracket. This particular boat has the optional dual heavy-duty rub rails on the sides. The hull is 82 inches wide on the bottom. It's got an 8.5-foot beam. This has been in the KingFisher lineup for many years. The hull is proven. It works extremely well. It's efficient. It rides awesome on rough water and really establishes a great fishing platform when trolling or still fishing. In saying that it's been around for a long time, it's also evolved a lot through the years. So if you look at a lot of the standard features on this boat, like the Bauhaus combing rails, you got the rings where you can, if you're tied up to a dock, where you can pass your dock lines through. You can see the heavy-duty 1.25-inch stainless steel bow rail that surrounds the entire cab. This has got the optional bow pulpit in the front with the anchor system. You can see that it's got the optional searchlight mounted on top of the bow rail there. While we're looking at the boat at this angle, we may as well show you the trailer. So this has got an optional Bow Buddy Max on it. So obviously for rock protection going down the road. This has got an easy loader, 7,500 pound with the electric over hydraulic disc brakes. So that's a fairly key feature. This has also got the V block in the front for towing. This is going to give you lots of stability. You can see that we got a tie down strap pulling both down and forward on it. So just makes for a really better towing experience with less flex with the boat anchored to the trailer in that fashion. The rest of the trailer you can see here, it's got the aluminum wheels on it. This does have the half rollers, half bunks. And as we move around to the transom here, you can see that I guess you're also seeing that there's a pile of options on the roof. So we'll get to that when we get to the interior, but we'll just keep looking around the side of the boat. You can see the fit and the finish on here. If you look at the quality of the welds, the paint, the fit, the finish, it's really a very well finished boat. This has been rigged with twin 150s. The maximum horsepower on this boat is 300. So this customer's chosen to go with twin 150s. And the reason that he went with the twin 150s is because he wanted the joystick steering system on this, which we'll talk about a little bit more as we move forward here. This boat also gets sold many times with either a single 250, a single 300, and you have a choice between a 9.9, a 15, and a 25 horsepower kicker. In this case, we've got the twin 150s with the 15 horse kicker. So you can see all that gets rigged here. So that's all very clean. If you look at the hull, you can see that we've got the Dometic trim tabs. You can see the 18-degree variable hull here. This has got a 1/4-inch bottom because it's the Offshore series. It's got a full-length Delta keel, so you can see the flat Delta keel in the center. So between the Delta keel, the lifting strikes as you look forward in the hull, and the full reverse chine, this is what gives this boat the ability to stay up on speed or stay up on plane at slow speeds and slice through the rough water, giving you a nice smooth ride. We'll start at the transom. First of all, we'll point out this has got the optional king deck in it. So this is a very nice platform to work on. It's going to last for years. It's going to be comfortable to walk on, whether you have shoes, bare feet, and if your fish and everything, it's all going to clean up and be very manageable. So it offers a nice soft touch to the boat. You've got a gate to open and close for easy egress and ingress on and off the docks. You've got a fish tank right here. This one's got the optional live well in it, and the reason for that is it's a great place to keep crab. Looking at the battery compartment and accessibility to all your electrical. Remember, this boat's in the midst of being rigged, but this is where all the batteries are going to live. This is all your electrical, and you can see how neat KingFisher does all their electrical, their wiring, everything is labeled. All the access to your pumps, everything is quite easily to get at here. We've put an optional hot water, on-demand hot water system in here, so that's where we've mounted that. As far as the storage on the gunnels, you can see that we've got Burnwin mounts mounted there, so that's going to accept downriggers, rod holders, barbecue, whatever it is that you want to put there. You can see that we've got the twin shelves for storage there for your gear, gaffs, whatever you may have. There's your wash down on one side, so we've got fresh water on one side, raw water on the other. And then you can see that KingFisher has these steps, which makes it easy to get up and over top around the cabin on both sides. We've got more storage here underneath this helm. Got lots of room on this dash for placing items, 2 cup holders, and then you can see here you've got a number of choices for what size of sonar you want back here. In this case, you can see that this customer's chosen to do things like this, so he's got his Optimus control there. This boat's got active trim so that it automatically trims correctly in all conditions, which is a really nice feature. He's got the handheld Simrad here, which is going to be an extension off the Simrad inside the main helm. This has got the optional bimini top on it. And while we're here, we may as well look at the roof at the same time. So again, very easy to get up and on the gunnels of the boat. It's easy to walk around here. You've got this large stainless bow rail, as we pointed out, that keeps you secure. This has got optional stainless steel roof rails. These rails are adjustable. All 3 of these can be positioned anywhere along this. This has also got the tie-down, welded-on tie-down points. So this is an option. So anything that you're putting on here, instead of just tying to the rails, you can actually secure right to the cabin with these welded D-hooks. You can see the Simrad radar on here. That's the C-Station antenna for the joystick steering system. There's another small antenna on the port side. That's the GPS external antenna, so that there's no interference with getting a GPS signal. And the other antenna there is actually a transponder that's dedicated to the VHF radio. So this boat's definitely equipped to go offshore and be safe. He's got some optional docking lights here on the sides. And as we move to the bow, you can see how much room you have up here. Gives you really good access. Your windlass you can control inside the cabin, but if you did have any issues or anything, it's really easy to get out here and work with your windlass. You've got your tie-down cleat here. You got your hatch into your bow here. You can see where the cleats are positioned around the hawse rings, which I was saying on the outside of the boat, so makes it really easy to tie up for docking. And the other thing to maybe note here is the basically the drip rails or eaves troughs on the side of the cabin. So you can see that any water on the cabin is going to run on into those rails, and it's going to run off the back of the boat so that if you got your side windows open, you don't have water coming inside the cabin. This boat also has the optional net holder on the side. So basically the butt of the net goes in here. The loop of the net just simply goes in here. And that's really a nice feature. When you're out fishing, nets are lots of times smelly. They get in the way. There's never a good place to store a net. Here it stores totally out of the way, and it's really quick and easy access when you need it. Before we enter the cabin, I should also point out that this has the optional raised gunnels. So that gives you a lot more freeboard height inside, as well as the padded bolsters on the side. So that makes it really comfortable. And if you look at the toe holds here, if you're in rough water and you're landing a large fish, I'm basically standing vertical. My toes are tucked, and I can fight a fish here and be very, very comfortable and not have any risk of falling in or my feet slipping out from underneath me. As we go to the cabin, I think, this watertight cabin is something that we definitely want to talk about. If you look at the quality of these doors, how they latch, the fit, the finish, how they secure when they're open, to release it just like that. So these are really a durable door. Entering the cabin, we step down here and you've got a cabin that's very nicely appointed. So basically we've got just a storage shelf here. This has got the optional folding table. So when it's folded up, you got 4 cup holders, you've got rails to hang onto. So if you got, when you're underway, you got something more to grab onto if there's somebody that's standing or sitting here. When you're using the table, this folds down and basically gives you about 30% or 40% more table space. This does fold into a bed. We'll show you how that works. This seat, when you're sitting around the table, does stretch out. So now you've got room for 2 adults to sit here on this side. This table, the pedestal just comes out. This goes down, a filler cushion goes in. And then this seat here is basically universal. Right now it's sitting in the forward position. So if you're underway, this is going to be your passenger seat. When you're parked, this is going to come back and basically form a backrest for the table. And then this also folds right down flat, so this becomes your side berth. Looking here, like I said, we are in the middle of rigging this boat, but if you look up underneath, there's actually a coat hanger here. So that's fairly wide, so you can actually hang a number of items there. Here's your stand-up head, a solid aluminum door. So basically that's a flush toilet. It's a manual flush toilet in here. There is lighting here. I do have to turn on the switch for that, but I think we can see okay here. So anyways, there's your privacy. This has got the shore power option. So this is actually an expanded fridge. It's an AC/DC fridge, and that's a good-sized fridge. The workmanship with the counters, the cupboards and everything is something that we want to point out. So you've got storage there for your sink utilities. These are actually sliding drawers. So instead of having to reach in, the drawers pull out. So that's definitely a nice upgrade. And that's true with all of these. So we'll just show you that all 3 of these work in the same fashion. This has got the driver's helm upgraded shockwave suspension seat. So this has got 2 flip down armrests on it. You can see the interior, the way that it's totally finished with the cold weather package here. Very nice, very nicely appointed. It's very bright in here. I should probably just turn on the lights and we'll show you how those even brighten it up even more, as we are inside a shop right now, not even outside. You can see the screens on the side windows. You've got plenty of dash storage up here. So look at your cup holders, look at your dash space, your ability to put lots of items up there. This is just another storage shelf to put things in that you don't use all the time, and also access for us for easier rigging and to get at electrical components and for mounting, like, as you can see, the VHF radio. You can see the dash space here. This can be configured to anybody's custom needs. The controls will end up being mounted right here. This has got the Dometic adaptive trim tabs in it. You can see it's got the cordless cell phone charger there. There's the Optimus steering display. Your shore power panel is down here, so that's for your 110. And the other thing that's nice about what KingFisher does here is look at the comfort here. Besides having a tilt helm, which is really nice, I can sit here. I've got a place to put my feet, and I've got great visibility. We've also got the 13.5-inch stainless steel wheels at both the main helm here and at the aft helm, if you noticed it when we were looking there. You've got storage underneath here as well on both sides. So for sticking shoes, etc., just again, every crook and cranny they've taken advantage of to make sure there's as much storage space as possible. As far as the V-berth up here, this is a decent sized V-berth. There's also additional storage in here. So lots of extra storage for clothes, etc. And you can see there's some side lights in here. You can see look at the shelves you got on each side of the berth. Those things are really nice and wide, so you could pack a pile of extra clothing, etc. up there. You've got a hatch up front here. It's got a screen in it as well. You've got the side hatches. that got screens as well. You got access to your anchor locker there. So look at the way everything is, the fit and finish. This is just really a nice, laid out, comfortable boat that's got a lot of soft touches to it. This boat's got so many things on it, so there's a few things that we kind of missed on the initial walkthrough, so we'll just touch on that real quickly as we finish off here. You got the aft deck lighting here. This is a good-sized fish box here, and this does have a macerator diaphragm pump to get rid of any fish debris or anything that ends up in there. This does have a self-bailing deck, so anything that's on here is just going to automatically float. You can see your holes on both the port and the starboard side. So those are just going to bail overboard through sculpers so water can go out, can't come back in. This also has, we've put optional Burnwind mounts on this rear straight stainless steel transom rail, which is a very robust and heavy duty. So gives you lots of options for configuring things however you want. That propane bottle is going to live out there. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to secure it, but it's going to end up on the back motor bracket there for the hot water, the demand hot water system. And then the Optimus steering system, I mentioned that, but we should maybe talk about that a little bit more. So there's a couple of ways to configure this. The Optimus electrical system is awesome. What it does is it makes your steering effortless, just like a new vehicle. It's all electric. So no hydraulic hoses, all electrical. And the beauty of that is that we can do some programming with that. So as an example, when the boat's idling up to approximately 3,000 RPMs, we have 0-degree tow in. So the engines are going to be totally in line with each other. Once the boat gets up on step at approximately 3,000 RPMs, the engines are actually going to tow in. So they're going to turn approximately 1.5 degrees in. We've experimented with this particular hull and know that the natural state of the engines, once it's on step, because the water comes off a boat and it veers to the sides. So if these motors stay in line, you're actually fighting the flow of the water, which is just causing you to lose performance and burn more fuel. So we actually have this programmed so that they will tow in once you get up on step, and as soon as you drop off step, they'll automatically go back to zero again. So that when you're trolling, these engines are all in line with each other. The other thing that we program is the ratios of turns. So right now, if we're at idle, we're approximately 3 turns lock to lock on the steering wheel, which makes for real quick maneuverability around a dock, loading on a trailer, or for trolling. Once you're up on step, the ratio turns so that on our wheel, we're now going to be approximately 5.5 turns lock to lock. So if you're cruising around on rough water, your steering wheel is going to be way less sensitive if you bump it. So it's just a much better experience, and it's a safety factor as well. And then the other thing that was added to this, and once you have the electric steering system, it also enables you to get an autopilot, which works extremely efficient for very good value. And this one also has the added joystick steering, which will be installed in here in the coming days. So the joystick steering is kind of another topic, but basically you're steering around the dock with a joystick. You can make this boat go straight sideways in any direction you basically want. You can have it turn circles, you can have it basically do anything that you want. What you do with the joystick, it's almost like playing a computer game. And then the other thing that you get is a few other features. If you want to, let's just say that you want to try for halibut in an area, before you drop your anchor, you can actually just put it on a hold, and it'll put the stern against the wind, and you'll hold that spot while you sit there and figure out if there's a fish in that area before you drop the anchor, as an example. Or if you have to wait somewhere in a marina, you can put, and there's a number of different options to that. You can lock in a heading, you can lock in a number of different modes. So it just really expands the usefulness of the boat with that option. To view the full performance specs on this boat, please go to our website. We've got really accurate information there in terms of fuel burn, top speed, cruise speed. So all that information is laid out there for you instead of me trying to remember and mess things up there. As far as who this boat is for, this boat's going to be perfect for the couple that wants to go spend some nights offshore, You can also use this as your camper when you're on your way to your adventure, so kind of doubles as your RV. If you got a small group of people, you're out for days, daytime trips, it's going to work really well for that. So it's really going to give you the ability to either spend nights out, use it for day trips. Either way, it's going to be an excellent fishing machine, but also offer you the versatility of making sure that everybody in the boat's comfortable with all the soft touches and just the comfort of the boat. So it's really going to suit. It's going to suit him. It's going to suit her. It's going to suit the family. It's going to suit everybody from the serious fisherman to somebody that just wants to go relax on the water. Hopefully this video's helped you understand the KingFisher 2725 Offshore better, and please subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos like this.